Welcome to AM News.
Good morning, Marumo.
Can you give us the latest, because we understand that the results have started trickling in?
Yes, indeed. Out of the 156 constituencies, 8 constituencies results have been declared, and currently the leader of the opposition party, Hakainde Hichilema, is leading. But you are aware that I'm talking about only 8 constituencies, and you have 156 constituencies. Therefore, we are expecting that a clearer picture will emerge later in the afternoon when more votes have been declared. We are expecting the Electoral Commission to brief the media now at 10:30, and I am confident that we'll get more information on other constituencies, but it's still too early. And we are expecting the final results to be declared only tomorrow.
Has the election body related to you guys or spoke to the reporters in informing them what led to the delays in announcing the decisions or the results rather?
Well, you are aware that this is a very cumbersome election because you have 5 different ballot papers. It is a ballot paper for the candidates for presidential position. Here I'm talking about 9 candidates. And you also have the constituency, you have the mayor, you have also the referendum. You are aware that they have to take a decision whether they should include the Bill of Rights in their new constitution. Therefore, it was a difficult election. And to count all those different ballot papers and also to ensure that we sort them properly and there is no discrepancy, it really is a difficult task, but they have decided to pay attention particularly to the presidential election so that this is off the way. And it is for that reason when yesterday I asked the chairperson of the Electoral Commission whether are they still on course to declare the results in 48 hours, he then told me that it is not possible because, for example, there are polling stations which started very late. They opened at 4 o'clock in the afternoon on voting day, and they only finished voting around 4 a.m. Yesterday. Therefore, you add those hours, it means it's unlikely that in 48 hours they'll be able to declare the presidential results, and therefore it's likely to happen tomorrow late in the afternoon.
And there are reports that there's political tensions after a person reportedly entered at IT room. Is this the reason for these tensions?
Yes, yesterday, surprisingly, we were standing there and all of a sudden there were lots of security personnel and they surrounded this guy, and we were told that later at the media briefing, in fact, one of the party agents who is here at the results center raised a concern to the Electoral Commission that apparently this guy came in and allegedly was given an accreditation of one of the senior IEC Electoral Commission members to enter the room where results are kept. And there were allegations that he tampered with the system, but the chairperson was quick to dismiss the allegations, saying the guy has been arrested and they are investigating, and we are hoping that today during the media briefing they'll share some light in terms of what transpired and the impact thereof, if any. But he was quick to indicate that the commission is independent and impartial, and also ensuring that all those who were at the media briefing are aware that the matter is being investigated, and also giving commitment that the Electoral Commission will do everything in its power to ensure that they discharge their responsibility in a professional and not being biased to any political party, as they are an independent body.
And opposition leaders have been crying foul, Sophie, saying that their members have been, have been beaten up, and also alleging that there could be a voter or election rigging in this case. What are you finding on the ground in this regard?
Well, there were incidents in the far-flung areas, and we couldn't be present in those polling stations. But yesterday, matters were raised ranging from some party agents who were expelled at the polling stations. therefore they couldn't monitor the process, to the fact that there were some discrepancies when the ballot papers were transported, and also questioning the defense force here in Zambia, because they are the ones who are supposed to carry the ballot papers back to Lusaka here at where they saw all the ballot papers. But the commission, as I indicated, made an assurance that all those issues will be looked into, but also saying that they will continue to ensure that they do everything in their power to ensure that these elections are not tainted, and appealing to the parties not to use small incidents to kind of fuel tension. Like yesterday, where the party agent of the opposition party threatened that if that guy has tampered with the election results or information, this may plunge Zambia into chaos. And he was quickly called to order, because people said that those statements are likely to fuel tension. And when you look at the security around the election results center, it's very tight and barbed wires everywhere. I think there is simmering tension, but I think the security establishments are on hand or are on standby to ensure that there's peace when final results are announced and a winner is declared.
And Sophie, with all these allegations made by the opposition parties, how would you describe the situation in Zambia presently?
Can you repeat the question, Marumo?
I'm saying, with all these allegations being made by the opposition parties, how would you generally describe the situation on the ground in Zambia?
For now, it's quiet. It's very, very quiet. Maybe in the afternoon, when a lot of constituencies are declared and a picture is emerging in terms of who is likely to be the winner, then we'll see some celebrations or people expressing their views. But for now, it's calm, but it's very tense and it's very quiet, and everyone is waiting for the final result.
I don't know, Sophie, if you had a chance to talk to some of the observers that might be there, and what is it that you're getting from them?
Well, we have SADC, we have the Commonwealth, we have the European Union, and of course the AU. And these observer nations are led by senior people in the continent. For an example, the Commonwealth is led by former President of Tanzania, President Kikwete. And then you also have the AU led by former Nigerian President Goodluck Jonathan. We are going to go to one of the media briefings around 12 o'clock that we started, and we will only get a picture or their view there in terms of where their observations and perhaps their recommendations, where to improve and where perhaps Zambia got it right.
How important it is for Zambia, Sophie, to host the free and fair elections for their own growth as a country?
It is important. Any country that goes to elections, it's important for that country to come out of that election and elections being declared free and fair by both the electoral bodies in that country, but also by ordinary observers, both international and local, because it gives credibility in terms of flourishing democracy in that particular country. And these are the signs investors look for when they want to invest in a particular country. You are aware that Zambia, like any other SADC country, is battling drought, but secondly, the economic challenges, like all of us, we are in the region battling with economic challenges. And we want to use these elections to affirm or to show the international community that they can come and invest in your country, because people want jobs, and poverty is a challenge here. It's like any other SADC country, and therefore it is important that the elections are free and fair, so that you can have a situation where you can go out and say, come and invest in our country. We have just gone through an electoral process, and the elections were free and fair. Our country is stable. Therefore, you can come and invest in our country. You are aware, even back home, it's local government elections, but all eyes are on South Africa to ensure that we finish this process with all those hung municipalities. The process must be concluded so that people can say, yes, indeed, South Africa is stable, even though there are challenges. They are able to sit down and resolve their challenges. Life is business as usual, therefore we can go back and invest in Gauteng or Tshwane. There's no confusion. There's clear a line of march with the charge. I think the elections are very important in that regard, not only in the continent, but around the world. Look at what's happening in the U.S. currently. All of us, we are glued on television to look at or to follow what's happening in the U.S. And in November, finally, there must be a winner. And for any country to know exactly, for an example, South Africa will have interest in knowing who is going to be a leader there, so that they can look at the foreign policy of that particular person, so that we can continue to strengthen our relations with the U.S. Therefore, elections in any country are very, very important.
Mokoena, you just touched on the latest development in South Africa with regards to South Africa hosting its local government elections. Speaking to the electoral body in Zambia, were there any lessons learned from the recent elections held in South Africa?
You know what, sometimes we don't appreciate ourselves in South Africa. You know, when I arrived here, the first thing, that blue microphone, the South African Broadcasting Corporation, SABC, everybody gets so excited to see South African broadcasting. We are here to cover elections, and they start talking to us about what happened in South Africa. And they are so impressed in terms of how the IEC in South Africa conducted elections. But above all, how South Africans themselves decided to go to the polls and, take a decision in terms of what needs to happen in different municipalities. And when you look at Zambia, the same thing. The voter turnout was very, very, very high. And therefore, I think I tend to agree with the AU chair, Dr. Nkosazana Dlamini-Zuma, when she was addressing the Women's Day gathering to say South Africa is an example. We can't say. We have to continue to lead by example. And therefore, you need a strong leadership to continue to be seen as a leader or as a country that is always willing to assist or set a good example. And indeed, Zambians were watching, and unfortunately, let me say, fortunately, they follow all SABC TV channels, particularly for on daily basis. Therefore, they know exactly what's happening in that country. And also the Zambians in South Africa, they do follow SABC. So there's that relationship, and they were very excited. And it's like, yeah, it was South Africa a week ago, it's us now, and everybody is trying to ensure that elections are free and fair. But of course, there will be challenges. The same happened back home in South Africa 2 weeks ago. Everybody tried to ensure that elections are free and fair, but there were issues here and there. And I think as a SADC region, we must take pride in the fact that we are trying our level best. And I think when the SADC meeting converged in Swaziland, these are the issues the heads of state and government and also the ministers will grapple with to ensure that we continue as a region to be stable, because in many times we are being credited for being a stable region, and we have to continue to do that. And it can't be only South Africa or Zambia. All the member countries of SADC, we must ensure that there's peace and stability in our countries so that people can continue to respect this region, the SADC region.
Mokoena, that was our foreign editor, Sophie Mokoena, joining us live from Zambia.